Alright you guys, what's happening? Welcome back to another matchday reaction. This time we're talking Kilmarnock 0, Aberdeen 1 in the first game after the 2018-2019 split. Massive win for Aberdeen, pretty awful game, I won't lie. And after we lost our heads last Sunday at Hampden, it was nice to see somebody else do it. A performance today where I didn't think Aberdeen were great by any means. We didn't really create a lot of good chances either. Kilmarnock's discipline really let them down the day. 3 red cards in the end. It was a bit mental, but I think overall a really big result and continues a really good record down at Rugby Park as well in a game that we absolutely had to have. After last week where I was totally fed up with this team, we needed that. We absolutely needed that this week. I think the fan base needed it, and I think most importantly the team needed it, because that was so disappointing last week. And if we'd gone and lost that game the day and we're all of a sudden really struggling to qualify for Europe, this season could be seen as a complete abject failure. But I think today's win is massive for us. Hearts got beat and Hibs have got Celtic to play tomorrow, so that kind of helps us out a wee bit as well. If Celtic get a win there, we're not guaranteed 4th, but I think we're 9 ahead of Hibs and 11 ahead of Hearts with 4 to play, so that should probably see that out. And obviously now we're 3 points ahead of Killie in the race for 3rd, so that's big. In the first half, honestly, I thought Aberdeen were very mediocre. I thought the game itself was very mediocre. There really wasn't a lot of chances at either end. I thought that both teams tried to play at a high tempo, but it happens sometimes when you play at that tempo, it kind of spoils the game, and I feel like that's what happened today. Yeah, we had really not a lot to talk about in the first half going forward. They had one chance where Brophy tried to hit it at the near post, really comfortable save for Lewis. The only big news for the first half was obviously Kirk Broadfoot's red card. Now the balls came in from a free kick. That was loads of free kicks in that first half. The game was so stop-start with the amount of fouls that was going on. Broadfoot comes in with a mental studs up challenge, catching Joe Lewis in the face when it was clearly Lewis's ball. It wasn't one of those where the ball was there to be won, and I didn't think Broadfoot can have any complaints about his straight red card, and he put his team in a massive hole, and obviously that was our impetus to go and try and take control of the game. And while I felt we did control the game for the most part when they were down to 10 men, I didn't really feel like we were playing well or looking like a massive threat either. So the first half did really peter out, despite the fact we had about 10 minutes with a man advantage. The other thing for the first half was, from our point of view, Mikey Devlin and Sam Cosgrove were both cruising for a red card today. Devlin was just committing foul after foul after foul, just clumsy fouls and stupid fouls. Cosgrove, though, after he got booked, he committed a foul where, to be honest, he could have easily been given a second yellow for that one. So McInnes rightly hooked him at half time, because Cosgrove was offering us nothing, to be honest. He got himself booked. He could have got himself sent off. He was going down off it easy as well. He was really walking a tightrope, so I was glad to see that McInnes hooked him at half-time, because he was giving us nothing. Wilson came on for Cosgrove. Wilson struggled to get into the game as well, to be honest. The performance was just really flat against 10 men. We were not really looking like creating much, and that was what was really frustrating, was that we've gone down there a lot over the last few years, gained them a couple of tank-ins, tended to win the games. Granted, the last time we went down there we were lucky as anything to win that game, but I felt that we really didn't take the game by the scruff of the neck. I felt like I say, I felt like we were controlling the game, in that we were controlling the tempo of the game, we were controlling where the game was being played, but we weren't looking like breaking them down. Kind of looked like it was a set piece that was going to do it for us, and that's exactly what happened. So the corner comes in for the right, Graham Shinnie swings it in, McKenna, downward header, into the net, 1-0, and that was all we needed. I kind of hoped that once we went 1-0 up, they would come out a wee bit and we would be able to pick them off. They had a great chance no long after we scored. Diagonal ball over the top for Stephen O'Donnell, who was coming in for right back. Ethan Ross was the last man back for us. O'Donnell was bearing down on goal and Ross was able to get a crucial block. That was massive. Because he was essentially one-on-one with Joe Lewis. He was cutting in on his left foot, granted, but Ethan Ross, who had came on for Mikey Devlin, did a fantastic job to get across and block it out for a corner. Their header with Chris Boyd near the end, Boyd was kind of stretching for it, he couldn't get any power on it. We had one wee chance right at the end where Wilson skinned a boy, hit a shot for 20 yards, parried it to May. May's tried to open his body and put it across the goalkeeper, and it's been blocked. But yeah, in terms of goalmouth action, there really wasn't a lot to talk about in this game. It was a really poor game from that standpoint. But the real talking points are obviously the red cards. So obviously we've talked about Broadfoot, we talked about Devlin, who was walking a tightrope, we talked about Cosgrove, who was lucky not to be sent off, and then Stuart Finlay, who had been booked earlier, and he was having a bit of a mad day, to be honest. He He raised his hands in the box for one of our set pieces. While the ball wasn't in play, it wasn't like it was a penalty or anything, but he had to be careful. He's given the ball away and he's ended up just chasing back Graham Shinney and just hacking him down, and he had to walk for a second yellow card. So they were down to 9 for I think the last 8 minutes or so, and yeah, for there, I thought we were pretty comfortable even though we allowed them to be on the front foot. They then get the red card right at the end with Rory McKenzie has had a wee kick out at Dom ball. It's petulant and there's no huge amount in it, but as soon as you do something like that, you're in trouble. So McKenzie walked right at the end, and yeah, they finished the game down to 8 men. So it doesn't take away from what we did last week, because what we did last week was fucking ridiculous. I think that was part of their game plan the day, to come and try and rough us up a wee bit. We're a big physical team this season and no one can deny it, so it was always going to kind of play into our hands in that way. The overall game was just poor, kind of because of that, kind of because of the fact that the game was so physical and so daft and so stop-start with constant free kicks, some really silly bookings, some stupid red cards. And I feel like Killie are a better team than that. They're a better team than what they kind of showed us today. And yeah, when they went down to 9 men, the way they were going on, it kind of felt inevitable that they were going to go down to 8 men. I actually thought Boyd was going to get sent off because he'd been booked for a stupid challenge about 2 minutes after he came on, and then he jumped for a header with his arm out, and I didn't think that was a second booking, but I thought it was pretty much, if he does something else like that, he'll walk. But it ended up Rory McKenzie that took the long walk. So just a really fucking stupid game of football today. It was a big win for us, and we've had a few like that this season where we've really had to grind out a result. We had to grind out a result the last time we went down there, partly then because we were so bad, and Christ knows how we got a result then. I felt like over the piece we probably deserved to win the day, but if it had finished 0-0, I don't think anybody could have had any complaints. The game was that poor. So from your point of view, there wasn't really any standout performers today. I think the only things that are really worth noting in terms of a player standpoint are Stephen Gleeson, who made his first start in God knows how long, was really quite composed in the midfield. I think he's a good player, it just never really worked out. He was getting a run in the team starting at the start of the season, but obviously the way that Lewis Ferguson was playing, he had to start. So Gleeson's kind of played cameos here and there, and I like him. I think he's a talented enough football player. With Shinney and with Ferguson and tending to play two midfielders, there really isn't a place for Gleeson in this side at the moment, but he came in for Ferguson the day and acquitted himself really well, so that was good. Greg Halford came on at the end for his debut. I think we signed him at the start of February on a free transfer, and he's not seen the park yet. It was weird because obviously he came on because he's a big giant at the back. He was coming on just to deal with their aerial balls, and that became their tactic in the second half. They were playing a lot of diagonal balls towards the edge of the box. To be fair, there were some good ones as well. Like I say, the one for O'Donnell's chance was a pretty good ball. There was another one to the back post for Chris Boyd that he headed back across, but it was a poor header. And Halford came on and did his job there. There was a couple of times though where I saw Halford up the park, so Christ knows what was going on there. He played 10 minutes for us in 3 months, so I really can't see that obviously being anything long term, but he did what he needed to do the day. So I don't feel like there's anything else to talk about with today's game. Obviously on last week's video I was furious with the way we played against Celtic, and I was talking about the fact that 4th place really wasn't a guarantee for us. Now that obviously depended on what was going on today, because if Kilmarnock beat us today and go 3 points ahead of us, and Hearts get a result, and we'll see what happens with Hibs tomorrow, then we're in trouble. Whereas now it's a case of we're 3 points ahead of Killie, so we're in the driver's seat. Killie go to Celtic Park next weekend. If Celtic win tomorrow, they can win the league next Saturday, so obviously that'll be a good opportunity for us to see Kilmarnock drop more points. And if Celtic do that and they win their next 2 games, that really helps us out. We can forget about Hearts. We can forget about Hibs probably if they lose tomorrow, but Hibs have been on a good run the last couple of months, so we can't really write them off. Kilmarnock are an interesting one, obviously. They are 3 points behind us. They still have that goal difference where if they catch us on points, they almost certainly will finish above us on goal difference, but we'll see what happens. But much more positive than last week, but again, the performance today wasn't great. The game was poor, but we needed the 3 points and that's what we got. So next weekend we're away to Rangers at Ibrox, so we have obviously done very well there this season. We have played them twice at Ibrox this season. We've played them 3 times in Glasgow, won all 3, no conceded a goal yet. So if anybody is holding out any hope for 2nd place, which I'll admit I'm not, we obviously need to go and win that game next week. It would be really disappointing the way we've played against Rangers this season to go there and collapse and get beat. But I think we'll go there with a game plan, and I think we'll go there with a belief that we can do it again. So fingers crossed that last week was a complete aberration and we can actually finish the season kind of strong, because this season is in grave danger of petering out, but that result today's made a massive difference. So we'll wrap up just now. I will do a video next week when I get back for Ibrox. Hopefully a happy video, but we'll see how it goes. If you've enjoyed, hit the red button below. It really helps me if you give it a subscription. If you give the video a like, that would help get it out there as well. The Celtic video that I did last week was the first video that's done over 100 likes on this channel, which to a lot of YouTubers means fuck all. To me, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. If you know anybody that enjoy it, share it with them. I've been QMJ. It's sunny outside, so life's great. I'll talk to you again sometime.